increasing and decreasing intervals. So this is going to go back to your 8th grade in Math 1 skills, where you know that a linear function is increasing and or decreasing. So a positive line is increasing and a negative line is decreasing. So increasing, if I'm reading from left to right, it's going to be going up like a positive line, and decreasing like a negative line. And if we really think about it, a quadratic is just a curvy set of two lines. So again, our vertex up here is very important, just like we were drawing it yesterday on the graph, because that's when it's going to change from increasing to decreasing. Or if it's a positive quadratic, it's from decreasing to positive increasing. Now, so I've color coded again. So we have our blue, which is decreasing as it's going down, and our yellow is increasing because it's going up. So we're just looking from left to right. Again, we're still focusing on x values only because these are domain intervals of increase and decrease. We know that our quadratic is going to go up and down forever. So beautiful. This is your parent function of a quadratic function. So that's just your basic f of x equals x squared. So this is the most basic quadratic function you could possibly find. It's sitting all in the positive upper portion, didn't cross into the negative. But as we read from left to right, so from our left, that's negative infinity to positive infinity. For the right, it's starting by going down. It's coming down to its minimum point. So it's going to start going down. So as far as decreasing, it's going to start at a negative infinity. And it's going to go until you hit your vertex, because that's when it's going to turn. And in this case, it's 0, 0, because it's our parent function, which is always at the origin. So it's going to decrease from negative infinity to 0, and then it's going to increase right there at 0. It's going to turn, and it's going to go up forever to positive infinity. So basically, all you need is the x value of your vertex for these intervals, because otherwise you're reading from left to right. And since it's just a basic quadratic and there's only one turn, you're reading from negative infinity to whatever the x value of your vertex is, and then that value to positive infinity every time. So if you need like an outline decreasing and increasing, if it's a positive quadratic and you start with decreasing, it's always going to look like negative infinity, vertex x point, and then vertex x point to positive infinity. This is not your parent function. So our vertex down here, we have -1, -4. But remember, again, we're only focused on x values because it's domain. It is a positive, so that means we know it's going to start decreasing. So because this is a positive quadratic, we know it starts decreasing. And the left side, because we're reading left to right, is always negative infinity. And it's going to go until our x value of our vertex, so that -1, and then it's going to increase from -1 to positive infinity. So the outer portions of these are always going to be infinity. Again, your only thing you really need is the x value of your vertex, since this is a quadratic and there's only one turn point. So looking at this one different, because this is our negative quadratic. That means it's a sad face. You want to identify your vertex first. So your vertex here, it looks like is 0.5 and 4.5. So 0.5 and 4.5. But again, that 4.5 doesn't matter. We don't need it, because all we're dealing with right now is increase and decrease. We have our arrows because it goes on forever. Reading from left at negative infinity, it is increasing this time. It starts going up from the left to the right. So increase from negative infinity to our turn point, which is 0.5 is the x value. So 0.5 or 1/2, if you want to use a fraction. And then it's going to turn there and decrease from that 0.5 indefinitely to the right. So positive infinity. So as far as your increasing and decreasing. So increase start for a negative graph, and then it ends decreasing. But a positive graph, it starts decreasing and ends increasing. So going up the y. So it starts going down, ends going up, if we're reading from left to right.